Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. We are from Group 15 and would like to present about digitalization and blockchain in post-harvest technology. Our group consists of four members which are Manal Anlia binti Yuhi, Sanggara Roshana anak perempuan Panusami, Siti Khalidah binti Muhammad Amran and Siti Nabila binti Muzammir. So let's talk about traceability. Food traceability is defined as the information required to describe a food crop's production history, as well as any subsequent transformation or processes that the crop may undergo on its journey from the grower to the consumer's plate. The ability to trace back and forward information related to production and post-harvest handling activities. There are several importance of traceability which are to link additional information on product quality and consumer safety, such as pre-harvest and post-harvest techniques, storage, distribution, and condition. It is also required in the cold supply chain, especially for foods are perishable and highly sensitive to environmental parameters such as temperature, light, and humidity. The uses of real-time is to ensure product quality offers tangible benefits. This is accomplished by ensuring that each step of the production process is truly inspected and refined. Moreover, it will allow for the rapid identification of problems, reducing food waste and spoilage to recover valuable energy, organic matter, nutrients, and water contained in the food waste. Types of regulation and standard for traceability involve are Food Safety Modernization Act (FSMA), the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), the Codex Alimentarius Commission (CAC), and International Standardization Organization (ISO). The organizations such as the CAC established by the FAO and WHO, ISO play an important role in the development of international standard and industry guidelines for the food traceability. The FDA's Food Safety Modernization Act (FSMA), which became law on 4 January 2011, requires registered food and feed facilities to evaluate the food safety hazard that could affect the food and feed they manufacture, pack, or hold, and to identify and implement preventive controls to address those hazards. The Codex Alimentarius standard was published to serve as a guideline for food safety and to support balanced trade relationship in food. Codex standard issues range from specific raw and processed material characteristics such as food hygiene, pesticides residue, contaminants, and labeling, analysis, and sampling method. Traceability can only be achieved successfully if it is built upon global standards that enable interoperability between traceability systems across the whole supply chain.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Manal Alia and right now we are going to discuss about decentralization. In general, decentralization can be defined by a process which by the central or provincial government gives the district the power to carry out specific tasks, such as creating policy, planning, implementing the plans, and creating budgets. Decentralization in the context of blockchain describes the transfer of power and decision-making from a centralized entity, which can be an individual, an organization, or a collection of such entities, to a dispersed network. Operations in a decentralized supply chain are dispersed across a number of network nodes. These nodes are frequently compact offices and storage facilities built to be located near the organization's final consumer. These central headquarters and warehouses may still exist, but they serve more as a support for the individual nodes, which can be customized to their surroundings, for example, only stocking certain products and not the entire range, depending on consumers' needs. A decentralized supply chain has the ability to significantly reduce local logistic costs, which is one of its main advantages. Operations are located close to the final consumer, which significantly can reduce shipping expenses. Nodes that have access to nearby vendors may also be able to reduce their inbound expenses. Other than that, decentralization can also help improve resource allocation, resulting in a better performance and consistency as well as a lower probability of catastrophic failure. Points of weakness can also be reduced by decentralization. These vulnerabilities could result in systemic failures, such as inability to meet expectations or inefficient service as a result of resource exhaustion, recurrent outages, congestion, a lack of adequate incentives for effective service, or corruption. Decentralization assures that the blockchain is not controlled by a single person, group, or even the government. It is spread through a systematic digital network, therefore preventing interfering with the transactions. Let's now look at some of the challenges in agricultural supply chain. Decentralization is particularly important in the supply chain sector, where efficiency has historically been affected by a number of problems. Its key obstacle is the inability of present supply chains to become flexible, which creates a big issue in a market where they must be able to swiftly and continuously change their configurations to match the constantly shifting dynamics of supply and demand. Another significant drawback is the wide variation of communication techniques, with some businesses continuing to use paper documents by hand. Data storage ends up being kept away in exclusive systems that prevent collaboration. Decentralization often has some drawbacks such as lower transaction throughput, but the benefits of enhanced stability and service levels surpass these drawbacks.
Hi, I'm Nabila. I will present about blockchain. Blockchain methods are able to keep all the data in computing system to maintain the transaction record in block form and are suitable for establishing third-party based trust models in business and organization. The main use in the industry is Bitcoin blockchain. The addition of data into blockchain must follow the specific rule such as data cannot contradictory with other data that already has into blockchain. Data only be appended to blockchain. Every computing system executing the blockchain protocol must agree on what the state of the data stored and public blockchain is not owned by a central party. Hash has value like a fingerprint which identifies the block and all the information inside there. When transaction occur, the hash value assigned to the transaction and validity of each transaction should be approved or checked through other computing system executing the blockchain protocol, which also referred as nodes. The transaction changes will detect by changes of the hash value. After getting approval, the transaction is stored in a block. Hash of the previous block can produce a chain of blocks to form a blockchain. The changes in data of previously recorded block may change the related hash value for the block and tend to break the chain. So, the content which has been uploaded in the blockchain is unable to change. The data contain process of generating, transaction, and consuming a product are recorded into blockchain. All participants are able to access and work through a peer-to-peer network, but each parties which involved need approval before doing any alteration of recorded data. The important data that must be stored in the blockchain are product ID, name, price, and quantity. In agriculture food supply chain, blockchain is central location store all aspect information about the life cycle of food.